how to make a difference. Teachers are called social engineers. Actually, teachers are molding the nation, and no society can develop above its teachers. So, the topic of today is how to make a difference as a teacher. That's our topic, and warm welcome everyone. And today being Dr. Radhakrishnan's birthday, we are celebrating Teachers' Day today. Actually, it falls on September 5, and Teachers' Day wishes to all my dear friends from PMS Dental College. And Dr. Radhakrishnan was a great teacher, an outstanding philosopher. He wrote Hindu Philosophy of Life and Indian Philosophy Volume 1 and Volume 2. And these two volumes are referral books in different universities around the world. He was a sought after resource person, and he used to visit foreign universities, and he used to teach the foreign students. There were plenty of sessions, and he happened to be our first vice president and later second president of India. So happy Teachers' Day everyone. Now dear friends, Dr. Radhakrishnan once said, teachers should be the best minds in the society. Teachers should be the best minds. Best humans can become best teachers. Now India is trying to attract best minds into teaching, and the brightest minds into teaching. You might be knowing about UGC's decisions to give very good salary to teachers so that we can attract best minds into this teaching career, because the destiny of a nation happens to be in the hands of a teacher. There is a beautiful saying, and it is the introductory sentence of Indian Education Commission. It goes like this: the destiny of India is being shaped in her classrooms. The destiny of India is being shaped in her classrooms. That's the introductory sentence of Indian Education Commission. Okay, so Dr. Radhakrishnan is telling about best minds, and teachers should be best minds. So our call is to be a best mind. So the first point I would like to share is this: let us be the best minds. Let us develop the best minds. Now I would like to begin with a small puzzle. It's a very simple one. There is first pen, there are 2 pens, then 3 pens and 4 pens. Now we can move one pen from any of these, and it should be counted in the reverse order: 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be the transformation expected. Now this is from the left to right: 1, 2, 3, 4, and after moving one pen there should be 1, 2, 3, 4 from the right side. Okay, dear doctors, just a funny puzzle for you. Now it's very simple. Take the second pen and move towards this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. It happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty simple. I just wanted to show this small puzzle to ignite you into an important point. Now teachers have to walk the extra mile. Teachers have to walk the extra mile to mold the students. Your students being professionals and doctors, you have to walk double the extra mile. That's very important. You have to inspire them. That is the second thought that I would like to share with you. Then the third one is a simple funny puzzle. It's a funny puzzle. In fact, a doctor and a driver fell in love with a pretty girl, and the driver had to go for a journey for 7 days, and he handed over 7 apples to the girl and asked her to eat 1 apple a day. Did anyone get the clue? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's why 7 days and 7 apples. It's a funny thing. Still, dear friends, teachers have to learn to connect. We need to learn to connect. We need to learn to connect to our kids through our eye contacts, through our tender words, through our positive strokes. We need to connect to our students, and we need to connect to patients as well. Connecting is very important. We teachers have to learn to connect to people. It may be through the kind words. You being doctors, you are highly dignified people. We very well know that. That's why the society respects doctors, and still we need to connect to our students and people as well. That's very important. That's it. This is a very funny question. 14 plus 3. Now, can you guess an answer other than 17? Can be 3 plus 14. It can be 20 minus 3. It can be 15 plus 2. There are plenty of alternatives. Shiv Khera is an outstanding motivational speaker, and his book You Can Win gives a blueprint for successful life, and he is one of the noted resource persons of India, and his book You Can Win is a bestseller. And this is the caption of the book: winners don't do different things, they do things differently. In your teaching career, in your methodology of inspiring your students and being a model to your students in all walks of life, we teachers are expected to be different. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. If we are different, we will be acknowledged, we will be noted. So in our approaches, we should be different. We should have a difference. We should have some kind of uniqueness in our approaches. So that's the next seed of thought. Be different and think different. Being different and thinking different, that would make a great difference in our lives. This is Norman Cousins. He wrote an outstanding book, that is The Anatomy of an Illness. I read he is the originator of a medical wing, psychoneuropharmacology. He was an author, and he had a problem, an illness. The semen that brings the cells together was missing from his body, and the doctors said he would pass away in 6 months. And he, being sure of death, he thought of trying something different. He went with his wife to a remote village and stayed near a river, and he had wonderful natural food as well. He watched funny movies. He had a handful of friends too with him. They had a hilarious time there. They enjoyed music as well. Dear friends, as a result of this positive approach to life, he came back with health and vitality, and he wrote the book The Anatomy of an Illness. And in that book he says the distance from illness to health is the distance of a positive mind. In our RCC also in Trivandrum, Dr. M.S. Valyathan tried something different, dear friends. He introduced music and reduced the quantity of painkiller given to cancer patients. And once he spoke in All India Radio, and he said that patients were given wonderful music and painkillers were reduced to 1/4. 4 tablets were reduced to 1 tablet only, but they were feeling the same kind of pain. Okay, the point I would like to bring forth is this: we need to develop a very positive approach and positive mindset towards everything. There is a beautiful story, The Last Leaf by O. Henry. There is a doctor there. The girl is affected with pneumonia, and medicine is not curing her. Then the doctor said, no medicine can cure a patient when the patient purposefully looks for death. When a patient wants curing and healing, medicine has double the power. That's the message of the story, The Last Leaf by O. Henry. So dear friends, the message is this: mind matters. What matters is our mind. Shakespeare sang, there is nothing good or bad, thinking makes it so. There is nothing good or bad. Our thinking makes it so. That's a saying of William Wordsworth. This is Thomas Alva Edison. He was once planning to have a press meet with his assistant. Now he took around 48 hours to develop a new bulb, and he was coming to the stage for the press conference with his assistant. Now accidentally the bulb fell from the hand of the assistant and he could not demonstrate anything, and he announced we will be having the press conference exactly after 2 days. And after 48 hours, Thomas Alva Edison came with a pretty new bulb, and the same assistant was carrying the bulb as he was walking to the stage. They demonstrated it perfectly. They had a wonderful time. Press people asked many questions. One of the journalists asked him, why did you hand over the bulb to the same person again? Why did you hand over the bulb to the same person again? That was really funny and puzzling for all of us. Okay, then Thomas Alva Edison said, he is the one who assists me, and he burns his midnight oil with me, and he has contributed a lot, and it's very easy to trouble him by pushing him aside. But I thought of giving the bulb to his own hand again. Do you know why? It takes me only 48 hours to develop a new bulb, but I would not be able to bring back his confidence in 48 years if I did not hand over the bulb in his hands on this prestigious, auspicious day, in this auspicious occasion. That was what Thomas Alva Edison said. Dear teachers, you are teachers and healers. The best professions are healing, preaching and teaching. And you, being doctors, you are combining two best professions, healing and teaching together. Now, what matters most, what is most significant in the life of a physician who is a teacher is nothing but empathy and kindness. Try to understand people from their point of view. Try to wear the shoes of others. That is highly significant. Do unto others what you want them to do to you. That's a beautiful saying from the Holy Bible. Do unto others what you want others to do to you. So empathy is significant in our lives. Abraham Lincoln was a great orator and a great president, but his father was a shoemaker. Once one of the members of the parliament said, your father happens to be a shoemaker, and it's really tragic that America is ruled by a shoemaker's son. Then there was an outstanding comment from Lincoln. Sir, I know my father used to make shoes for your family. He made shoes the way nobody else can. Now my father makes shoes with 100% precision and accuracy, just as a doctor performs a heart surgery. My father was so vigilant and precise and perfect in making shoe. So whether it is making a shoe or ruling the great nation America, my family, myself, my father, we people have a habit of doing things in the perfect fashion. That was the comment of Abraham Lincoln. Dear friends, Aristotle says we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Excellence is not an act. Excellence is a habit. Dear friends, let us aspire for excellence and perfection in whatever we do. Okay, in whatever area we touch, whatever area where we focus, whatever the responsibility is given to us, let us try our best to make it perfect. If we aspire to do something perfectly for 22 days or 21, 22 days, it becomes our habit. Actions repeated become our habits, and sum total of habits is one's character, and character is one's destiny. So actions repeated is the destiny, and whatever responsibilities given to us, we should aspire, try our best to do it with commitment, accuracy and perfection. Okay, that would be really great, and this aspiration would take us to the next level in our life's journey. We need to have a greater vision. Okay, maybe religious bias, maybe there may be political bias. Okay, some of your students may be very good looking, some of the students may be very obedient, and some of the students may be very studious and talented. Whatever the discriminations and varieties are, we should have a broader vision and perception, and we should go above the petty things and have a greater vision and greater vitality. A vision always precedes excellence. That's important. So let us have a great vision, a broader vision. There is a beautiful saying in Malayalam, ഹൃദയം വിശാലമാകുന്നതാണ് ഏറ്റവും വലിയ പ്രാർത്ഥന. ഹൃദയം വിശാലമാകുന്നതാണ് ഏറ്റവും വലിയ പ്രാർത്ഥന, ഏറ്റവും സുന്ദരമായ പ്രാർത്ഥന. You might be knowing Dave Shetty. He is a cardiac surgeon. He is specializing on pediatric cardiac surgery. And do you know what he said? If the solution is not affordable, it is not a solution at all. If the solution is not affordable, it's not a solution at all. So he tried to give affordable heart surgery to kids, and his passion was to do as many surgery as possible. And in 16 years, dear friends, he conducted around 5,000 heart surgeries. Actually, this is a statistics of a couple of years ago that I got. Now he might have done much more than this, and per day he conducted 2.3 cardiac surgeries. That's very important. വികസനം അതു മർത്യ മനസ്സിൻ അതിരിൽ നിന്നു തുടങ്ങണം. എവിടെയാണ് വികസനം ആരംഭിക്കേണ്ടത്? ഇനി വരുന്നൊരു തലമുറയ്ക്ക് ഇവിടെ വാസം സാധ്യമോ. മനോഹരമായ കവിതയാണ്. ആ കവിതയിലെ വരികളാണ്, വികസനം അത് മർത്യ മനസ്സിൻ അതിരിൽ നിന്ന് തുടങ്ങണം. നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സുകൾ വിശാലമാകാനും സൊസൈറ്റിക്ക് വേണ്ടി കമ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുവാനും ഒക്കെ നമുക്കൊരു വലിയ ഒരു ആസ്പിരേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ. ലെറ്റ് us commit ourselves for our society, for the greater good of the society. That's what we people have to do. So we need to have great dreams. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam says, a dream is not what you see in sleep. A dream is something that would not let you sleep. നമ്മുടെ ഉറക്കം കെടുത്തുന്ന ഉജ്ജ്വലമായ സ്വപ്നങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ നമുക്ക്. Especially you are dental doctors and dental teachers, and you are contributing the best smiles to human beings. That is your outstanding contribution. And I love, among doctors, I love dentists the most, because they bring back smiles on the faces of humans. They bring back confidence to humans, and dental doctors are really the best. Okay, now have a great dream, cherish a great dream. Now I would like to narrate the story of Tenzing, dear friends. Tenzing, as he was a little boy, looked at Mount Everest, and he said, one day I will climb up and reach the top of Mount Everest. Then his father asked him, do you want to die? Do you want to die? Don't dream like that. But every day when he was brushing his teeth, he used to look at Mount Everest, and he committed himself, and he dreamt of reaching the top of Mount Everest. After 24 years, when he was 34, on May 2nd, 1953, he reached Mount Everest, the top of Mount Everest. That was a great achievement, an outstanding achievement. But the most important story is not that. Just before that, the previous year, in 1952, Tenzing reached 300 feet to the top of the Mount Everest. Now, Mount Everest has 29,035 feet. Okay, just 300 feet before that he reached in 1952. But climate changed, the atmosphere was very dangerous, so he had to recede, he had to climb down. But before moving back, he said, Mount Everest, I will come back. I will come back because I am growing with experience and you are not growing. Next year, Tenzing reached the top of Mount Everest. So, my dear friends, don't stop. Don't stop at obstacles. There would be 1001 reasons to stop something good, but we need only one reason to go forward. There is a beautiful song, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when funds are low and debts are high and you want to smile but you have to sigh, then care is pressing you down a bit. Rest if you must, don't you quit. This is an anonymous poem. The author is not known. The poem is called Don't Quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when funds are low and debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Do you know why? Because the climbing becomes the toughest when you are about to reach the destination. Okay, the journey becomes the toughest when you are near the goal. So one bend away is your goal. So rest if you must, don't quit. It wouldn't be the end, it would be just a bend. Don't forget that. It wouldn't be the end, it is just a bend, dear friends. So don't stop. Don't stop. There would be 1001 people making fun of you, criticizing you when you do something good, when you do something original, when you try something really outstanding. There would be many criticisms against you. But have conviction and go forward. Cherish your dreams and don't stop. Now, there is really something really funny about Michelangelo. As a little boy, he was doing some sculpture work on the bank of a road, on the side of a road. The king was passing by in his horse carriage, and the king saw this little boy doing something by the side of the road. He sent his soldier and called the little boy and asked him, "What are you doing there?" He had a small pebble stone in his hands and he said, "I am carving an angel." Then the king said, "I don't see any angel. The stone has no shape at all." Then little Michelangelo said, "Sir, I can see the angel. I will chop away the part that doesn't fit to the angel and then automatically the angel would come out. ഞാൻ ഏഞ്ചലിൻ്റേതല്ലാത്ത ഭാഗങ്ങളെല്ലാം ചെത്തിക്കളയും, അപ്പോൾ ഏഞ്ചൽ ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക് ആയിട്ട് പുറത്തു വരും. That was the comment of the little boy. The king laughed and he really enjoyed the narrative of this little boy and took the little boy to the palace and taught him, and the little boy became Michelangelo. I just wanted to tell this story just to remind all of you, myself too, to be thankful. We have 1001 reasons to be thankful. Do you know why? On that particular day, somehow the boy was doing some kind of creative work on the side of a rod, and on that particular day itself, the king came that way. The king had plenty of things to see, but the eyes of the king fell on the little boy, and he could have thought, okay, anyway, little boy is doing something, let me not waste my time, let me go forward. No, the king thought, Now I wonder what the little boy is doing, and he asked soldier to stop the horse carriage, and he asked him to fetch the boy, and the boy came, and the king asked, "What are you doing?" "Nothing, sir." Then the king would have gone straight back to the palace, but the boy had some kind of wisdom to tell like this: "I am carving an angel," and the king had the curiosity to ask, "How come there's an angel in this stone? It has no shape at all." Then the boy had the best ever answer: "I will chop away the other parts and the angel would automatically come out." That was the story of the little boy. And even then the king could have thought, "Okay, funny boy, let me go back to the palace." But the king had an intuition. Maybe if this boy is given training, he would become a great man. So there were many occasions, many interventions by God Almighty, or the perfect one, the ultimate goodness, God Almighty intervened many a time, and Michelangelo became a great contributor to the humanity. So let us be thankful. Let us be thankful for all our academic achievements and contributions, and for all our riches, maybe for all the privileges that we are having, for the reputed position of being a doctor, training best doctors, the noblest doctors. So okay, let us be thankful for everything. That's the point that I wanted to share. And it's not that I am so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. Albert Einstein says, the magic of clinging. I cling to problems. I am not a genius. I just do one thing. I cling to problems, and solutions are automatically coming out of this clinging. Dear friends, clinging is very important. When you face challenges in your teaching career, when you face tough students in your classes, never abandon them, never scold them. Okay, consider them as your friends and kids, you may, if possible, and cling to the challenge of shaping their personality, because doctors should be ideal human beings. So we have to incubate a lot. We have to toil a lot to identify the most ideal solutions to inspire our students. That's important. Okay, finally, cut your chains. That's what I would like to tell you. Okay, a doctor is an ideal person. Prasadam vadanathingel, karunyam darsanathilum, madhuryam vakilum undaganam. So our eyes should be clean, our habits should be clean, and we should be perfect individuals. Maybe you might be having the habit of getting angry very fast. Every human being has got some small faults, some small limitations. But if we are aware, self-aware, we will identify them and nip them in the bud. If we don't identify our faults, now those small faults develop, grow, and that would lead to great catastrophes and tragedies. So kill the negative elements in us before they kill us. We have to kill the negative elements in us before the negative elements kill us. Okay, that's it. Now, dear friends, be a team person. That's the next thing I would like to share with you. Be a team person. Be very friendly with everyone. All of you are friendly with one another. I enjoyed the way you people behave and mingle. That's really outstanding. Now, we should be team persons. That's important. Now, individuals cannot create history. We need great teams to create history. Infosys is a great company. It is the product of teamwork, dear friends. Great things are the products of teamwork, and Rome is not built in a day. Okay, that's important. Okay, now be a team person. Now I would like to quote Plato, the greatest privilege of a human life is to become a midwife to the awakening of the soul in another person. Actually, teachers have this privilege of witnessing the flowering of the personality of the students. We are catalysts. We are inspiring our students to bring out the best version of themselves. Okay, now we are bringing out the best version of ourselves, and we are helping to bring out the best version of our students as well. So we need to inspire a lot. We need to aspire to inspire. That's important. This is a quote from Horace Mann. He says, a teacher who is attempting to teach without inspiring the pupils to learn is hammering on cold iron. If we are not inspiring by our words and by our deeds and by our relationships, okay, we cannot be inspiring teachers, and the students become malleable only when we inspire them, just as the hot iron becomes malleable. That's a point. So inspiration should come from within. Now when the egg breaks from inside, a life comes out, but when the egg breaks from outside, the life vanishes away. മുട്ട അകത്തു നിന്ന് പൊട്ടിയാൽ കോഴിക്കുഞ്ഞ് പുറത്തു വരും, പുറത്തുനിന്ന് നമ്മൾ പൊട്ടിച്ചാൽ കോഴിക്കുഞ്ഞ് അകത്തിരുന്ന് ചത്തുപോവുകയും ചെയ്യും. സോ ഇൻ അവർ ആക്ട്സ്, ത്രൂ അവർ ആക്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് ഡീഡ്സ്, വി ഹാവ് ടു ഹെൽപ്പ് അവർ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് to find out the intrinsic passion in them. We have to help them get inspiration from their within and inner strengths. That's our real challenge. So be an inspiration to the students. Inspire your students. Okay, now the mind is not a vessel to be filled in. It is fire to be kindled, says Plutarch. This is a quote from Plutarch. Mind is not a vessel to be filled in, but it is fire to be kindled. And we need to kindle some kind of fire in our students. That's our responsibility. The fire of goodness, the fire of values. Just think of the foundation of a building. What sustains the building? The foundation. But foundation, nobody sees the foundation, and there is no painting on the foundation. It's not visible, but the foundation sustains the building. That's important. Now, what about the tree? The tree, what carries the tree? What gives strength to the tree? The roots give strength to the tree. But the roots, nobody is seeing the roots. Nobody is seeing the roots. Everybody is looking at the branches, flowers and fruits only. Nobody is acknowledging the roots. So values are like the foundations of the personality of a person. Values are like roots. Nobody is seeing it, but values sustain a person. Values create heroes. So let us respect values even at the cost of rights. If we are producing t-shirts, it's our right to give publicity. We can give an ad. We can ask a film actress to give a rather sexy snap of hers for giving the ad. That's our right. That's our right. But it doesn't go with our values. So even at the cost of rights, we teachers have to stand for values. That is our responsibility. Do you know this person? Narayana Murthy, founder chairman of Infosys. He started Infosys with his friends. I read he sold the gold of his wife Sudha Murthy to invest in Infosys and begin a company. That was the beginning of Infosys. But they built Infosys on the strong foundations of ethics. Infosys is one of the best companies of the world. So we need to build our life on ethics so that we will be successful and we will enjoy long-lasting success. Dear friends, that's all from my side today. Now we have got 12 more minutes. Now I would like all of you to add something to what I have discussed. Now, if you would like some clarifications, I would be glad to clarify as well. Now, the platform is open. Empathy is trying to understand the other person's point of view, sir. The other person's point of view. Okay, so we usually say wear the coat of others. Now, when a teacher is scolding a child, maybe in our PMS Dental College, a teacher is scolding a child. Just imagine a situation happens like that. Now, what would be the mind of the teacher? The teacher would be feeling, now the child is not responsible, he is not doing his work promptly, I have given him many options, but he hasn't completed the work. That is the teacher's point of view. And what about the student point of view? Now the student would be thinking just the opposite. My professor is not fair, he could have given me a little more time. Okay, now looking at number 6, sir, 6 from one side would be 9 and from the other side would be 6, sir. Okay, so empathy means to understand the other person's point of view as well. And so I don't know your story. You being studious people might have had excellent academic records, but in my story, I was a poor student in school. I was not very prompt with my homework. I had many missings in my development, and I changed my style of studying and everything only after plus 2 with my degree only. With my degree, when I joined for graduation, I myself had a thought. I am the captain of my ship and I have to work hard, and I have to work on me. I am the raw material. I am the artist as well, and I have to paint an outstanding masterpiece with my raw material. That was my feeling. So if we think of our own lives, there would be some situations where we failed in our commitments. So when our students fail in their commitments, rather than being arrogant, so we should be empathetic and understand them from their point of view. Sir, let me tell you one of my stories. So one of my students was sleeping in my class at Marthavelous Training College. I did not make fun of him. I called him to my cabin and talked to him. He said, sir, I get up at 3 o'clock and from 3:30, 3:40, I go for rubber tapping. I tap around 500 rubber plants every day morning, and then I collect the liquid, and then I wash, I take bath, and I rush to college, sir. I did not get sufficient sleep yesterday. That's why I slept. Dear friends, when we have a chat with our students, so we would become empathetic. If you want to teach Abdullah, first learn Abdullah. If you want to teach Abdullah, first learn Abdullah. And when we come closer to the students, when we understand their situations, their points of view, automatically we will be becoming kind and empathetic. So let me give you one anecdote, then I will come to some strategies of developing empathy. Okay, now anecdote is this. In a professional college, the professor asked something. The girl was recollecting the points and she was telling the answer. In the process, she blinked her eyes. She blinked her eyes like that. When there is stress, she blinks her eyes. Then the professor asked her, "Padikada vandane sight adichu kanikkunnu." The professor asked like that. This is a true incident, sir. So empathy, in order to develop empathy, we should have memory power. We should think of our own childhood, the way we behaved, the way we responded to our teachers. There were many failings in our lives, sir, and nobody is perfect. One person may be very good at one thing, but he may be imperfect in another aspect. But the student who is totally imperfect in something may be good at something else. Okay, so we should have self-knowledge. Know thyself, says Socrates. The best knowledge is knowledge of ourselves. Now we should acknowledge that We are limited human beings. We too have plenty of limitations and failings. So are our students. Okay, we should consider them as our kids, and we should give them empathetic approach and care and love. That's what I feel, sir. I would like to tell you that the most important quality of a teacher is neither communication skill nor the subject competency. The most important character of an ideal teacher is commitment. If a person is committed, automatically all other qualities develop. If a person is committed and value oriented, the other qualities would gradually develop. There are plenty of talented teachers, outstanding communicators, but if they are not committed, they would not contribute a lot to the development of the students. It's very difficult. It's really tough to handle indifferent students. But we teachers need to realize something. How a student becomes indifferent. A student is the product of 23 plus 23 chromosomes, sir. And he is the product of his environment. Now, in my college, Martha Training College, some students would be joining every year who are really very good at everything. Very good English, outstanding technological skills. They are really smart in everything. But on the other hand, there would be some students every year who are really poor in many of the aspects of their training and competency. But if you observe them closely, now the half of the students are really privileged ones, coming from outstanding backgrounds. They had very good schooling. Their parents were really vigilant in bringing them up properly. Okay, so that's half of the students. The remaining half were actually unlucky students. Sir, when we identify an indifferent student, we need to realize that he is actually an unlucky child. He is the product of his heredity and environment. And our challenge is to try our best to help them come back to a level of inspiration. It's really challenging, but it is worth it. It's really worth giving it a try. Do you know why? So continuous effort for maybe 1 or 2 years or 3 or 4 years, there would be a small change in his approach to life. But a small change in one's psychological makeup can change a psychopath into a normal person. A small change in his mental frame and mental aspirations can convert him from a psychopath to an ordinary person. That's our impact and influence, and what we can do. So, okay, if we are carrying a stone in our hand, okay, there are two possibilities for reducing the weight. There are two possibilities. Possibility number one is throwing away the stone and getting a smaller stone. Okay, that's the first option. Second option is to eat well, exercise well, and improve your inner power, so that you will be able to carry the same stone for a longer duration of life. Now, there are schools and colleges, they only select A plus students in everything. Okay, those schools are not good schools. But there are schools who select all students and mold them. So it's a tough task, sir. I am admitting that it's not easy. If the child is negligent, if he is not interested in his studies, now what can a teacher do? We can take a hose to the water, but we cannot make it drink. The hose has to drink. We can take a hose to the water and we can press its head only. That's what we can do. The hose has to drink. But an empathetic approach, a loving approach would effect some changes, because parents are examples. In spite of being very neglectful and very careless, Continuously, parents never lose their confidence. Do parents lose their confidence? They will keep on trying. They will keep on trying with a hope that someday he will take U-turn. That is the hope of a mother or a father. Such a positive mindset we need to inculcate. That's what I feel. Thank you, the chairman, yourself, sir, principal, sir, vice principal, sir, all the faculty members. Thank you and carry on with your great work. Create great doctors. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.